Elise Anna Dawson. Elise Anna Dawson of San Diego was killed on April 30th, 2026, the victim of drinking and driving accident, just a few days after her 15th birthday. She was a devoted daughter, granddaughter, sister, teammate, and friend. Elise was a freshman at Cathedral Catholic High School, where she was a member of the freshman volleyball team. She also loved music, art, and spending time with family and friends. Elise will be remembered most for her ever-present smile, her kind and outgoing personality, and always being there when a friend was in need. She lived life with joy and was excited for all of the amazing experiences ahead of her. She is survived by her parents, Kelly and Rob, her older brother, Drew, her grandparents, and many aunts and uncles and cousins. Please honor her memory by hugging your loved ones, being kind to others, and making safe choices.
Morning.
Morning.
Lucas Pascal Gonzalez. With heavy hearts, we share the passing of a beloved son, brother, and friend, Lucas Pascal Gonzalez, who at 18 years old was taken from us too soon in a car accident. Lucas was a light in the lives of many, a young man full of kindness, faith, and love. He was a dedicated student, a loyal friend, and above all, a devoted human being who carried a deep connection with God in his heart. His presence brought peace, joy, and inspiration to everyone who knew him. His faith was a central part of who he was. It wasn't something he kept separate from the rest of his life, because it shaped the way he spoke, the way he listened, and the way he treated people. Lucas lived in a way that quietly pointed others towards hope, reminding people of something greater than themselves. Lucas did that just in his own quiet, loving way. He lived with intention, thoughtful, genuine, and quietly impactful. Lucas had a way of making a lasting difference in people's lives simply through who he was and how he treated others. He will be deeply missed by his family, friends, and all who knew him, and will forever live in our hearts.
Kate Rachel O'Leary. Kate O'Leary, 16, was killed in a two-vehicle collision this past Friday night. Ms. O'Leary was traveling northbound on Camino del Sur at approximately 6:10 p.m. when a Tesla she was driving was struck head-on by an SUV that was traveling southbound in the northbound lane. Ms. O'Leary was killed on impact. The other motorist survived the collision with minor injuries and is being charged with vehicular homicide, driving under the influence and resisting arrest. Ms. O'Leary lived in Poway and was a sophomore at Cathedral Catholic High School. She is survived by her parents, Dennis and Laura, and her younger brother, Jack.
Buenos días. ¿Qué tal? Kate Breen. Mary Catherine Kate Breen, born on March 24, 2011, passed away surrounded by the love of her friends and family, leaving behind a legacy far beyond her years. A beautiful young Catholic woman, Kate was beloved by all who knew her, with a joyful spirit that could light up any room. She was a dedicated cheerleader and a track athlete, running the 1,600 meters with heart and perseverance. Kate had a deep love for music. She played piano, sang beautifully, and even founded an a cappella club on campus, bringing others together through her creativity and leadership. A proud Senton scholar, an active member of the National Charity League, she balanced her many talents with strong academics and a generous, faith-filled life. Kate is survived by her older sister and best friend, Jane Breen, her sister, Hope Breen, and her brothers, Thomas Patrick, Jack, and Matthew Breen. A funeral mass will be held at St. John the Evangelicus in Encinitas, where her life will be honored with her spirit celebrated.
Diego Dantes. It is with heavy hearts that we announce the passing of a beloved son, brother, teammate, and friend. He was a vibrant young man who truly loved life. Whether he was laughing with friends, spending time with family, or diving into the pool, he brought energy and joy wherever he went. As a dedicated water polo athlete, he showed determination, discipline, and a fierce competitive spirit, always pushing himself and supporting his teammates. At home, he was a cherished big brother to his two younger siblings who looked up to him with admiration. He filled their lives with laughter, guidance, and the kind of bond only brothers share. His presence made their world brighter, and his absence leaves an immeasurable void.
Roya Jane Osadun. Roya Jane Osadun was born on December 3, 2007, in San Diego, California. Beloved daughter of Omed and Elizabeth Osadun, and sister to Liam, Max, Margot, and Theo. Roya was a senior at Cathedral Catholic School, where she was a standout student involved in CCTV, mock trial, and ambassador corps for Christ. In her free time, Roya enjoyed hanging out with her many friends, volunteering in the community through the National Charity League, and spending time with her family. Her outgoing personality, beautiful smile, and warm demeanor touched everyone around her and will be greatly missed. A light extinguished far too early, Roya's memory will live on with her family and friends. She now rests peacefully with Christ, accompanied by the angels and holy souls who have gone before her. Roya is survived by her parents, siblings, grandparents, Jay and Rosemary Finger in San Diego, Uncle Wade Finger III, Aunt Mari Finger, and cousins Dagny, Carter, and Billy Finger of Cure Beach, North Carolina. In lieu of flowers, please make a donation to one of Roya's favorite charities, Bridge of Hope in San Diego, California.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, as we gather here today, mindful of what we have seen and heard in the last 2 days, especially the message it leaves with us today, help us understand that every choice we make has real consequences for ourselves and for those around us. Remind us that life is a gift and that it deserves to be protected with care, responsibility, and respect. Guide us to think before we act. Teach us to look out for one another and to be examples to our friends and our community, choosing what is right and encouraging others to do the same. As we move forward, let us learn and experience together, and what we have learned stay with us. Shape our choices, and may we care for those around us. May we carry this lesson into our future, always remembering the value of every life and the importance of protecting it. Guide us to build a community that works out and looks out for one another and acts with responsibility. Saint Joseph, our patron, pray for us. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I went to a party, Mom. I remembered what you said. You told me not to drink, Mom, so I drank soda instead. I felt really proud inside, Mom, the way you said I would. I didn't drink and drive, Mom, even though the others said I should. I know I did the right thing, Mom. I know you're always right. Now the party is finally ending, Mom, as everyone drives out of sight. As I got into my car, Mom, I know I'd get home in one place because of the way you raised me, Mom, so responsible and sweet. I started to drive away, Mom, but as I pulled onto the road, the other car didn't see me, Mom, and hit me like a load. As I lie here on the pavement, Mom, I hear the policeman say, "The other guy is drunk, Mom, and now I'm the one who'll pay." I'm lying here dying, Mom. I wish you'd get here soon. How come this happened to me, Mom? My life burst like a balloon. There's blood all around me, Mom. Most of it is mine. I hear the paramedics say, Mom, I'll be dead in a short time. I just wanted to tell you, Mom, I swear I didn't drink. It was the others, Mom. The others didn't think. He didn't know where he was going, Mom. He was at the same party as I. The only difference is, Mom, he drank and I will die. Why do people drink, Mom? It can ruin your whole life. I'm feeling sharp pains now, Mom. Pains just like a knife. The guy who hit me is walking, Mom, and I don't think it's fair. I'm lying here dying, Mom, and all he can do is stare. Tell brother not to cry, Mom. Tell Daddy to be brave. And when I get to heaven, Mom, write Daddy's girl on my grave. Someone should have told him, Mom, not to drink and drive. If only they had taken the time, Mom, I would still be alive. My breath is getting shorter, Mom. I'm becoming very scared. Please don't cry for me, Mom, because when I needed you, you were always there. I have one last question, Mom, before I say goodbye. I didn't ever drink, Mom, so why am I the one to die? This is the end, Mom. I wish I could look you in the eye. To say these final words, Mom, I love you and goodbye.
Yo, dude, congrats on Davidson. That's so exciting. I got everything you need. Got the alcohol.
All right, awesome.
So, like, when did you find out? When did you check?
Yeah, no, I found out. I checked the portal last night and I realized I got in. So I'm so excited. I go up like beginning of August. I'm really excited.
All right, I got 2 beers. Should be enough. And I got a bottle too if you need it.
All right, perfect. Oh, you got it. Good stuff. Bro, I got it too. Look, my brother hooked me up.
How'd you find that? I mean, where'd you even get that? He's not a
No, I texted him. He told me exactly who to talk to. So it's perfect. It's toast.
Cheers to Davidson.
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, let's try some of the vodka. You brought cups, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Tell me one.
Maybe a little more. Here, give yourself some.
Come on, don't act like this is your first time. Let's go. Come on, if we're gonna have fun, we gotta have fun.
Cheers.
Cheers. One more?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Hey, let's go over there. Come on.
I've been doing this since I was like 5. Come on.
Come on.
There.
Oh, you know I can't run. That's not fair.
Whatever.
Bro, relax. It's fine. Come on, I want that one. I want that one.
That one.
No, come on. Bro, you got shorter legs.
That's not how that works.
That is how that works. Oh, these make me sick, actually.
No, get fast. No. Wait, no.
Let's go, come on. Ooh, bro, I think my phone's ringing. Shoot, who is it?
I don't know. I mean, who's calling right now?
Yeah, there's someone calling.
Wait, I don't. How? Why right now?
Bro, it's my mom. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, actually.
No. Okay. Yeah, no, there was just really bad traffic. I'm almost there, I promise. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not letting you know. Okay, bye.
What's going on?
Bro, the school called my mom. We have to go. I have to go back. I knew this was gonna happen, all right? We just have to get to class and it'll be fine.
It's senior year, you don't need to be at school.
I can't miss another day. I can't miss another day.
I don't know. I'm nauseous. I don't think I can drive.
No, I got it. I feel fine. I didn't have that much. I promise.
How are we gonna get my car?
I'll get it after school. It's not that big a deal.
Okay,
It's fine.
I guess. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, no. Are you good? Are you sure you have to drive?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's all right.
Get out of the way, dude.
Bro, it's fine. I can't be late.
You don't. You're committed. Like, who cares about school anymore? Like, this one's your car.
Yeah.
Alright. This is stuck. I don't know how to make this work.
Yeah, I know. It's like broken. It's fine. We're only a few blocks away. You'll be alright. It's fine.
You should just let me drive. Like, I'm not even that drunk. Like, you're way drunker than I am.
Chill.
You should just pull over.
Chill.
Okay, Maury, I think this looks good.
Tori, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Yes.
Okay, so what else do we need to do?
Balloons for the rally. We can get them at Target.
Okay, are you ready to go now?
Yeah, I have your keys.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, let's go.
That's good.
I'm just saying, I'm way more simple.
Bro, it's fine. Bro, relax. It's okay. It's fine. We're about to be here. We're literally pulling in right now.
Dude, you're swerving all over. You should just let me drive. Like, I'm not even that drunk. Like, you're way drunker than I am. You should just pull over.
Chill. I got it.
But I can drive.
I got it. We're about to get back to school, bro. It's not that big a deal.
Wait, where'd you get into again?
Cal Poly, that's where
That's,
we go.
oh my goodness, that's so exciting.
I'm like really
Tori, I'm so excited
Wait,
for you.
I saw you're going to SDSU. What's your major?
Journalism and media studies.
Oh, I did not know that.
You did it?
So good.
Like, actually, you didn't know
I
that?
actually did not know that.
Oh, wow.
That's...
What about you? Yeah, I think the balloons are just gonna be for the arch tonight.
Okay, and just red, yellow.
Maybe white and gold, too.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be cute.
I think that'd look good.
I think that's what Dr. Max said, too, anyways, so.
Okay.
I've never been in your car before. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I use some of your summer Fridays?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my favorite one. I haven't really used the other ones before, but that's my favorite.
You know what I lost? I literally had like 5 of these and I lose every single one.
Dude, you gotta be careful over here. Like, you're way too drunk. You're driving so weird.
Bro, relax. Relax. It's not. It's fine, bro. Chill.
You're drunker than you think. Like, you need to be
Bro, it's
more
gonna be
aware.
okay, bro.
Don't you have like to the right direction? Wait, slow down. You're going kind of fast. Wait, you're going the wrong way. We have to go straight. You're going the wrong way.
There's nobody there.
It's the middle of school. There's security guards. What are you doing?
Well, what time it starts? I think it starts at 11. And then what time are you coming to the game? Are you going home first?
I think I'm gonna go home first. I need to take my brother home.
Daniela, are you okay?
Tori, what happened? Tori.
911, what's your emergency?
We have an accident. There's multiple people involved. We need emergency help right now.
Okay, where are you?
We're at Cathedral High School at 555 Belmont Heights Road.
Okay, what do you see? How many vehicles?
I have a student or a person through the windshield. I have I think 4 people. 4 people.
Okay, there looks like there's people injured.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have paramedics, emergency vehicles on the way. Please be careful while you're waiting.
Okay, thank you. They're on their way. Back up.
Truck 40 Cathedral IC, we have a total of 4 patients. 1 is dead on arrival. I'm gonna have 3 total patients. Ready on your count. Back forward just a little bit, just stay where you are. Tuck this around, pull your blanket out of the way. 6 more people. More right here. Right here. Yeah.
Everybody stand back, stay back.
So I smell a little bit of alcohol in your breath, so I just want to do a couple tests to make sure that you're okay, and then we'll be on our way. Right, so for this next test, I'm going to have you raise either foot of your choice. I'm going to explain and demonstrate. When I tell you to, you're going to raise either foot. You're going to keep that foot approximately 6 inches off the ground. You're going to look down at your raised foot and count in the following manner: 1001, 1002, 1003.
I'm not sure I copy your traffic. You're still in the process.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and take a deep breath in. You're going to make a tight seal around the straw with your lips and just blow out like blowing a balloon. Ready?
Copy.
Go. Blow, 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 blow. All right, go ahead, turn around, put your hands behind your back. So I'm going to place you under arrest for suspicion of DUI. '87 Robert 7, 1015 with 1.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be provided for you. '87 Robert 7, 1097. All right, go ahead, step out. So go ahead, just blow in the straw like you did on scene. It's going to be a long, steady breath. Ready? Go. Blow, 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 blow. Cool. Good to go. Who do you want to call? Just let them know where you are and that you're okay and what happened.
Yeah, I'll call my dad.
Your dad? All right. Let's go.
What happened?
So your son was involved in a traffic crash. He is a driver, and he's been arrested for DUI, and in the crash, somebody passed away.
Son, what did you do?
I don't know.
Why would you do this? Why wouldn't you call me?
All right, what's hurting the most right now?
Head.
Okay. Can you feel me touching you down here? No? How about right here?
What? No. Is everything gonna be okay?
We're just taking care of you and your friend right now. We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
What happened to her?
She's got a
I
pulse.
can't
She's breathing.
See her. I can't.
Yeah, she's just not talking right now.
Okay.
Hello, my name's Emilio. Can you tell me your name?
Mariana.
Can you tell me what happened?
I was driving with my friend Tori, and we were gonna go pick up something, and we were just in the roundabout, and a car just comes straight at us.
Are you able to wiggle your toes for me?
No, I can't. I can't.
Can't feel?
I can't.
Tori, can you hear me?
Tori.
It's gonna be to the right.
What's your name?
Mari.
Hi, Mari. My name's Laura. We're gonna get you over onto our trauma gurney.
Okay.
All right, so this is 18-year-old Miss Mari here. She was A&O 4 on scene, coming from a multi-vehicle car crash, head-on collision.
I'm your doctor. I'm going to be examining you. What's your name?
Mari.
Mari. What happened?
I was driving with my friend out of school, and a car came straight at us.
Okay. Wiggle your toes.
I can't.
You can't move your feet. Can you feel me touching your leg here?
No.
No? You know, because you're not having movement in your legs and you can't feel anything down there, I'm concerned you might have a spinal injury, okay? We're going to need to send you to the CT scan to see if you have any broken bones or fractures.
Okay.
Okay, so I reviewed your CT scan and your imaging, and you've got a really severe injury to your spine and your spinal cord. I'm afraid that you're going to end up being paralyzed and not be able to move your lower extremities.
No, I can't. I have like dance and I'm like I have too much stuff. I can't not.
I know. I'm really sorry.
No.
Right here, please.
All right, this is 18-year-old female Miss Tori. She was the passenger in the same traffic collision from patient 1. She was not responsive on scene. She does have a slow, weak pulse, felt at the carotid area.
Tori, check for a pulse.
I don't feel a pulse.
Start CPR. Someone give me access. Get the blood.
IV's in.
I don't feel a pulse.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your efforts. We're going to pronounce the patient now. Time of death, 11:20. Thank you.
the chaplains. I'm gonna take you to see your daughter, okay?
Is she okay?
Right here. She's right here.
I can't feel my legs.
She will be okay. God is always on our side.
She came into us very sick. She barely had a pulse when she came in. As part of our efforts to resuscitate her, she did lose her pulse. We did everything we could, including CPR. Unfortunately, her heart stopped and we were unable to revive her. Unfortunately, we had to pronounce Tori dead earlier on today. I'm very sorry for your loss.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
All rise. In the presence of the flag of our country, emblem of the Constitution, and remembering the principles for which it stands, Department 21 of the Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of San Diego, is now in session. The Honorable Daniel Link, Judge presiding.
Everyone, please have a seat. We are here in the case of People versus Sebastian Tucker. May I have appearances, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Minion on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Cole Casey, retained counsel on behalf of Mr. Tucker. He's present before the court in custody. We're not going to be so glib as to ask for a grant of probation where he can leave the courtroom with us today. What we will ask, however, is that the court consider imposing the lower term. He goes into prison, he does whatever the court feels is the appropriate term, we let him come out, and he dedicates himself to making sure that other kids in high school, college, aren't in the predicament that he finds himself in. This was avoidable, this was careless, we all understand that.
The defendant intended to drink, and not just drink. Underage drinking that was almost twice the legal limit. The defendant intended to smoke marijuana, furthering the effects, the impairing effects of alcohol. We are asking the court to impose the maximum punishment allowed under the law to sentence the defendant to 14 years and 4 months in state prison.
I'm paralyzed and I'm a competitive dancer. No longer am I able to perform and do what I love to do the most.
I understand that he's a very young man and have a full life in front, but these have affected a lot my daughter. You just hear her talking. Sir, these have to stop.
The loss of Tori will always be with us. She was an amazing daughter, sister, and granddaughter. She had an amazing future ahead of her, and we will never see that.
Just like Mr. Casey said, these don't get easier, and I wish this was a 1 in a 10-year situation. But unfortunately, this terrible scenario is playing itself out every week here in San Diego, and unfortunately, this one has affected the high school of Cathedral Catholic and the city and county of San Diego deeply. When you drink alcohol and smoke marijuana, you're making that choice, and then you become responsible for any actions that occur after that. And that type of behavior, to get into a car, risk the life of your friend, and then put other lives at risk, it shows a gross disregard for a human life. And it gives this court no other choice but to give you the maximum of 14 years, 4 months. I hope you do well and survive in prison. And when you come out, you tell your story so people can start understanding this has to stop.
All the way inside and have a seat.
Good morning, everyone. Every 15 minutes, someone in the United States is hurt or killed by a drunk driver. My name is Kim Gonzalez, and I'm the Public Information Officer for California Highway Patrol San Diego Area Office. All too often, it involves teens between the ages of 16 and 19 years old, where once a week a fatal crash happens here in San Diego County. We're counting on you, Cathedral Catholic, to put an end to drinking and driving. Last night, the Living Dead students went to a retreat where they did some team building activities and talked about the day they just experienced. At the end of the retreat, the students wrote a letter to their parents. The letter began with, "Every 15 minutes, someone is killed or seriously injured in an alcohol-related crash. Today I died and I never got the chance to say." I would now like to call up Daniela Johnson to read her letter.
Dear Mom and Dad, every 15 minutes, someone in the United States dies or is seriously injured in an alcohol-related incident. Today I died and I never got the chance to say thank you. Thank you for always loving me, even in all the times I didn't believe I was worthy of it. Thank you for the endless opportunities you've provided for me, whether that be raising me in San Diego, sending me to Cathedral, or just making yourselves available whenever I was in need. Dad, thank you for the times you carried me on your shoulders, determined to let me touch the sky. And Mom, thank you for carrying me in your heart, determined to let me know that I am always adored. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for the patience I know it took to raise me, and the strength it takes to send me out into the world every day, unsure of if I will make it back. I'm sorry that today I didn't. I'm sorry for the times I rolled my eyes or the times I shut you out. I'm sorry for fighting with my brothers or talking back. I'm sorry for not cleaning my room before I left this morning. And I'm sorry for even thinking that my room would get in the way of your love for me. I love how caring you guys both were, and I pray I spent my time caring for others the way you did. I pray I made people feel seen, heard, and loved the way that you did. I pray that I represented Christ well, like how you raised me to be. I know I wasn't a perfect daughter, but thank you for loving me despite that. I miss you both endlessly. I love you to the moon and back and around a few more laps. All my love, Daniela Johnson.
The parents also wrote a letter. At this time, I'd like to call up Brian Tucker to read his letter.
This was written as if you had been killed by a drunk driver. Dear Sebastian, today you died and I never got the chance to say I'm sorry. Man, this is heavy. I want to start there, son, because if today were really the last day, the things I would regret most are not the things I did, but the man I was not always brave enough to be in front of you. I'm sorry I was not more humble with you. I'm sorry for the times I was wrong and did not admit it. For the times I should have said, I screwed up. Will you forgive me? Every time I missed the chance to model that for you, I made it harder for you to learn how to do that yourself. I'm sorry I did not always model being the husband to Mom that I wanted you to see. I was passive at places I should have led. I was quiet in moments she needed me to speak. Because your mama, she's a strong woman. I carried the weight that should have let her participate in, and you watched it all. Marriage is a thing that sons learn by watching. And there were chapters where I did not give you the best example. I'm sorry I was not there for your 8th grade graduation speech. I can't say I've missed, by the way, I think it's the heat in here, so sorry. I can't say I've missed many of your moments, big and small. But you stood up there and made an incredible speech, and I wasn't there. But as I watched the live feed from your speech while driving back from Punta Brava, I was damn proud. I'm sorry for the future we'll never get to have. I never got to run with the Bulls with you in Pamplona. I never got to watch you catch a pass in a Division I football game. I never got to meet the girl you would choose to be your wife. I never got to watch you teach your kids about Jesus. I never got to teach my grandsons how to introduce themselves in the made-up game you, Santiago, and I made. Or how to pose tough for a photo. How to evaluate risk versus reward. How to ask questions when you're with people. Or how to sneak up on a lobster at night. Because you were going to teach them the way I taught you. That whole future, son, gone. And the only thing that helps me bear the thought of knowing it is what an incredible 19 years you've given me. But here's what I need you to know before anything else. Sebastian, you are the most remarkable, tender-hearted person I've ever known. As your father, I got to have a first row seat in your whole life. The way people's faces light up when you walk in a room. The way you make people feel seen, heard, and important. Not later, not eventually, but in the first 30 seconds. It happens with your friends, it happens with my friends, it happens with strangers at a restaurant. People feel different around you. They feel known. That's not a personality trait, son. That's a gift from God. It's the rarest thing I've seen in another human being, and you carry it without even knowing you carry it. If today were really the last day, the thing I would want the world to remember about you is not the trophies or the grades, but the way you made people feel. I love you, Sebastian. If today were the last day, I would want you to know it was a complete and absolute honor to be your father. You lived more in 19 years than most do in a lifetime. I'll see you when I get there, Dad.
The success of this program is dependent on all the law enforcement agencies involved: the firefighters, hospitals, mortuary, courthouse, and our teachers. All these people donate their time and have been committed to this program for many years, some even more than a decade. Everything you've witnessed from this point has been staged. Everything you're about to witness from this point on is 100% real and preventable. Our first guest speaker, please welcome Garrett Gelrud.
Good morning. My name is Garrett, and before I begin, I would like to first thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you today. I'm here to share a story that I can only hope raises awareness to the dangers that driving under the influence has on our community and those who are fortunate enough to call it home. What you're about to hear may be difficult to listen to, but there are a couple things that I would like to make clear. This is not about me and my story, but instead about the message. A message that all too often falls on deaf ears, is neglected, or easily dismissed and viewed as a rare occurrence. The reenactment that you witnessed today is far from rare. In fact, it's almost impossible to turn on the morning or evening news without hearing about another tragic DUI crime that has ripped apart an innocent family and destroyed the lives of countless others. Families are left to make sense out of the senseless, find hope when there is little left, and then are somehow expected to move forward in life without the people that they love and cared for the most. To say it's a senseless tragedy doesn't even come close to describing the trauma that victims of DUI offenders are forced to endure, and the relentless pain that undeservingly becomes their new normal. This is my message. Being 44 years old, I have worn several hats. I grew up in Oceanside. I played team sports, excelled in school, and held several jobs as a student. I was an older brother to two younger sisters, and I grew up in a household where drinking was seen as a rite of passage. If anyone should have known about the dangers that came with driving under the influence, it was me. Having grown up in a fire department family, I heard the stories and I saw the pictures firsthand, but attributed them to stories you only hear and read about in the media. I began drinking at just 15 years old, which at the time seemed to loosen me up socially and made me feel like I was fitting in with my older peers. At 16, I became a licensed driver, and driving under the influence was something that I did and did often. I knew it was against the law, and I knew there were dangers that came with it, but I had a habit of comparing myself to others who I perceived as way more reckless than I could ever be. At 18, I became a high school graduate. At 19 years old, I decided to follow my father's footsteps, enrolled in college, and began a career in public service. I worked as an EMT, then as an emergency room technician, then as a paramedic. And at 22 years old, I wore a badge very similar to the badge worn by the first responders that you've seen here today. At this stage of my life, I had seen fatal collisions that would keep me up at night, treated patients, and pronounced both DUI victims and offenders deceased more times than I could put a number to. I participated in similar assemblies, just like the one that you're sitting in today, cut apart cars and listened to stories just like you're listening to right now, only to go home and perpetuate the same DUI crime over and over again. It was in these early years where I began to develop a sense of pride, ego, extreme selfishness and entitlement, quick to point out my success while conveniently dismissing the things I was doing wrong that would one day compromise and destroy it all. Simply put, I saw myself as untouchable, above the law, unique, and better than all the rest. But let me assure you, I was not. At 25 years old, I seemed to have the world in the palm of my hand. I worked hard and partied even harder. My drinking was slowly escalating to unmanageable levels, as was my marijuana use and abuse of prescription medication. From my irrational perspective, I could do no wrong, and I lived my life as such. Always quick to rationalize my excessive drinking with the career path that I had chosen to take. I drank, I drove, and every time I got from point A to point B without getting pulled over, crashing my vehicle, and without incident, only reinforced the delusion that I could somehow do it and do it responsibly. I was arrested for my first DUI in 2006, but told myself and others that it was just a temporary lapse of judgment and an isolated incident of bad luck. I knew that wasn't true, that was the narrative that I chose to create. My alcohol use, impulsivity, reckless decision-making, and complete disregard for the well-being of others would ultimately cost me my family, my reputation, my friends, and the career that I had worked so hard to build. Even still, it was always somebody else's fault. I became skilled at minimizing my involvement, rationalizing my behavior, comparing myself to others who I irrationally viewed as much more worse than myself, and I was selective about what I allowed other people to know about me. Truth is, I was dishonest in every sense of the word. The 3-month DUI program that I was forced to complete went in one year and right out of the other. I failed to take heed to the stories, videos, and real-life testimonies of those who were courageous enough to share, once again living by that untouchable and above-the-law mantra that I subscribed to so early on. I remember hearing stories about how people could be charged with second-degree murder if they had a previous DUI offense, and then killed somebody as a result of their second collision. My arrogance, my pride, and ego couldn't have been more apparent. I always think that I was somehow exempt from such an offense. I saw these circumstances as the unthinkable and unimaginable, but truth is, they're actually inevitable. It wasn't if it was going to happen, it was when it was going to happen. But admitting that was something that I was never willing to do. I'd heard the stories, I'd seen the deadly consequences firsthand, and every single time I told myself that would never happen to me. Until it did. In 2015, 9 years after my first DUI conviction, I was arrested for a second DUI and once again deflected responsibility and convinced myself that it would never happen if the circumstances surrounding my arrest were different. More blaming, more justification, and complete lack of personal accountability. My callous disregard for the safety of my community continued, as did my drinking and driving, and on August 5th, 2015, just 6 months after my second DUI, what I thought would never happen to me and others became my reality. After a night of drinking, the reckless lifestyle that I had chosen to live for nearly 2 decades played out, with consequences that would destroy the lives of a beautiful family by murdering Mr. Juan Gonzalez in a fatal DUI collision. Notice that I don't use the word accident. I don't use that word because an accident, it was not. The murder that I committed was the outcome of one poor, callous, and reckless decision after another, with multiple attempts to do right, but I purposely chose to do wrong. Remember those multiple hats that I briefly described earlier? Now at 34 years old, I was guilty of committing murder and was subsequently sentenced to 22 years and 8 months to life in California State Prison. Mr. Juan Gonzalez was a family man, married to his wife of over 40 years, and the father to 4 children, Norma, Ricardo, Eleodoro, and Maricela. Mr. Gonzalez was also the grandfather to 11 grandkids, all of whom must now rely on pictures, stories, videos, and distant memories of the admirable, hard-working man that their grandfather was. He was loyal to his family, worked for the same employer for over 4 decades, and on the morning of August 5th, 2015, was driving the 1.5 miles he drove to work, but because of me and my selfish, arrogant, and criminal mindset, he never made it. The void that I single-handedly created in the lives of the Gonzalez family cannot be adequately measured, with each holiday, anniversary, milestone, and birthday serving as a constant reminder of the humble, proud, and generous man that I deprived them of. The loss and grief they must now navigate through is unfathomable. Their pain and heartache cannot be adequately measured, and their sense of normalcy will never, ever, ever be the same. Mr. Gonzalez was a man who lived his life doing all the right things and was murdered by someone who was doing the exact opposite. And that person is me. DUI crimes are not accidents. They are serious and violent crimes that are 100% avoidable and preventable, that all too often end in horrific tragedies that cannot be fixed or undone. Families and other members of the community are left to suffer and navigate an unfamiliar world without the love and support that their loved ones freely gave. While these surviving family members continue to endure relentless grief and trauma, the perpetrators are sentenced to state prison and must now navigate themselves through a system riddled with extreme violence, gangs, drugs, criminality, and a prison political structure that is difficult to manage and adjust to. DUI offenders don't go to DUI prison, where white-collar, non-violent, low-level offenders go to serve their sentence. They will undoubtedly end up in maximum security institutions identical to the many that I just served the last 8.5 years in, and are subjected to the same violence, prejudice, racism, and criminal acts that you only see in the movies or hear about through various news stories. You will not be separately housed, isolated from violent offenders, or treated any better than any other inmate. In fact, without a criminal history, there will be expectations of you that must be upheld, many of which will likely keep you in prison for the rest of your life, or until your life is also cut short as a result of the violent acts that occur on a regular day-to-day basis. I want you to know that if you choose to drink, smoke weed, pop pills, and then get behind the wheel of a moving vehicle, regardless of your tolerance, your status in the community, your familial background, your academic success, your socioeconomic status, or your position on a particular sports team or club, you are not exempt from becoming a DUI offender, nor are you exempt from becoming a convicted murderer. Having been in your exact position before, I can relate to the misguided and false belief that you may feel that you're somehow unique and that it will never happen to you. I've told myself that same line countless times, and the sad thing is, I actually began to believe it. This could not have been more further from the truth. But I have taken heed to the stories I heard, the fatalities I witnessed, and the testimonies similar to the one that I'm giving you right now. Mr. Gonzalez would still be here today, and his family would not have had to endure the intense grief, sadness, and loss that I imposed on them. This grief never goes away, and sadly continues to worsen with every day that passes. In closing, I'd like to take a few minutes and just pause. Take time to reflect on yourselves, the values that you have upheld, the success that you have found in these early stages of your lives, and imagine the innocent victims that go out on our roadways with the unwavering trust and expectations that they will get to their destination safely. DUI crimes do not discriminate. They don't care about race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, age, or gender. They don't care whether or not they're your father, your mother, your grandparents, your aunts, uncles, nieces, or nephews, brothers or sisters, girlfriends, boyfriends, or children. They occur at the hands of reckless and selfish people and always wreak havoc on the pure, innocent, and undeserved. It's no coincidence that assemblies and fatal reenactments such as the one that is being held here today are usually during high school homecoming, prom, and graduation weeks. The sad reality is that students, parents, faculty, and yes, even professionals such as the ones you see here today are just one decision away from destroying the livelihoods of people they've never, ever met. Having been on both sides of the fence, I've witnessed it firsthand many, many times, yet it still continues to occur. There will be temptations, and there's going to come a point in your lives when you will be forced to make a decision. My hope is that you take the experiences of this assembly and that you apply it to your future decision-making process. Think about the consequences, think about the livelihood of your families, the innocent members of the community, and do what you know is right. Today, especially today, there are no excuses. You have ride-sharing services at your fingertips, you have family and friends that you call, you have the ability to walk or stay put, and most importantly, you have the moral and legal obligation to be responsible and uphold the law, regardless of whether you or not you think you're impaired, buzzed, or just a little tipsy. And finally, I'm going to ask you to take a personal pledge. Excuse me. My hope is that if you have the courage, the character, the discipline, the integrity, and moral compass to refrain from getting behind the wheel after drinking, using, or drugs. I ask that you make this commitment to yourself, the friend, the acquaintance, or stranger sitting next to you, your teacher, your administrative staff, your parents, in the audience, or the innocent members of the community that are occupying our streets and roadways in this exact moment. And commit yourself to safe, responsible, and 100% sober driving. This is not a sign of weakness, but instead it's a sign of strength, maturity, personal responsibility, empathy, and accountability. It's not something that you should bow your head down in embarrassment over, or worry about what others might think or say when you exit this auditorium. This is you, and this is you making a decision that will absolutely save the lives of family, friends, complete strangers, and even yourself. You're not alone in your decision, but instead supported by your fellow classmates, faculty, administration, and public service personnel who only want the best for you, your families, and your bright future. Please remember this moment. I want to thank you for your participation and taking time to honor those who have fallen victim to DUI offenders. Promise yourself that you won't contribute to the problem, but instead become part of the solution and help solve it. Thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, your courtesy, and allowing me this opportunity to speak to you today. Please be good, be responsible, please be accountable, and be safe. And please just leave the keys. Thank you.
Our final guest and our keynote speaker, please welcome Larry McNamara.
Good morning, everybody. I've been involved with this program for many years. And the reason for that, I think they've got the picture up there. It's about this guy. Leaving my home on a wonderful July afternoon, I had some errands I needed to go take care of, and as I got in my car, I noticed my son, Sean, and his friend, Tyler, crossed in front of my vehicle, and I yelled out the window, said, be back in a few minutes. Okay, Dad. And he nodded his head and winked. My wife and I, having had 4 boys, we had always tried to find different ways with them that they had a special thing going on. And with Sean, it was that nod and wink. Well, I left, and about 25 minutes, I was on my way back home, and as I was approaching the intersection, there was a little hill I had to come over before I could actually see the intersection. Came up over that ridge, started to go down to the intersection. I drove up on the intersection from hell. And I could see fire trucks, ambulance, CHP, sheriff, everybody was on all 4 corners running around. And as I got closer, I noticed a yellow body blanket covering a body. And I was thinking to myself, what in the world happened? I pulled over in the left-hand turn lane. I was going to make the turn to go up to our home. And when I pulled up there and stopped, I started hearing a lady's voice yelling for me. Larry, hurry up and get over here, come on. I turned to my left and looked. It was our next door neighbor. And with all of the police action that was going on there, amazingly enough, I'm looking at the light thinking, well, I don't want to run a light, so I'm going to wait for it to turn, still kind of looking around trying to figure it out. But when it turned, I pulled over to where she was on the sidewalk there, and she said, Larry, it's Sean. He's been hit by a car, and he's dead. I jumped out of my car at that point, started to run over where the body was in the roadway. And I kind of vaguely remember I started off walking and then that turned into a run. And as I was making my way through everything and was about to turn the corner with the last fire truck there, to get out on the roadway. My next door neighbor's husband, who was on the fire department that day, he was on duty, he came out of nowhere, grabbed me, turned me around, started to take me back up to my car, and then very quietly, now this guy was a fireman, big guy. Always talked very boldly, but the strange thing that happened at that point is he leaned over to my right ear and was whispering to me. And he said, look, there's nothing you need to see or do. You get back in your vehicle and go on up to the house, and somebody will be up later and let you know what happened. And the closer we got to the car, he said, listen, why don't you grab your two younger sons? They were standing on the opposite corner. He said, grab them, take them up with you. We'll be up later. Put the boys in the vehicle, and as I was doing that, one of the scenes of this night that I'll never forget, there was a frontage road and then the main road where the crash occurred, but on that frontage road was a fire truck. Back bumper was a couple of firemen sitting with their heads down in their hands. We just happened to look up at each other, and I had never seen a more devastated look on anybody's face as I did those firemen that night. They were there to save lives, and there was nothing they could do. You could just see it in their face. And I nodded my head. They nodded back. Drove up to the house where I pulled in the driveway, got out of my vehicle, and was on my way into the house. Looked up and saw our next door neighbor's daughter, who was standing in the doorway of our home waiting for one of us to get there. But I looked up at her and said, I've got to call my wife. She said, Larry, your wife has already been called, and there's 2 phone calls that were made to her by Sean's younger brother, Nick. And the first one was something to the effect of, Mom, Sean's been hit by a car and they're taking him to the hospital. My wife said, will you go back down there, find out where they're taking him, call me back, and I'll get over there as quick as I can. Second phone call, just a couple of minutes later, was, Mom, Sean is he's dead. My wife started screaming. She was working in a back room at a retail store in Poway. We lived in Lakeside. And in these back rooms, they have these pseudo-secure locked rooms where when you're in there doing, counting money, making phone calls, doing orders, that kind of stuff, they always keep the door locked. Well, when they heard my wife screaming, a couple of the workers took off and ran to the back. And when they got to the door, reaching for the handle of the door, realizing it was locked, and they spent quite a few minutes getting her to open the door. She couldn't comprehend opening the door. Now, by this time, I was sitting in my home, kind of waiting for my wife to get there and trying to figure all this out in my head because it was just too much to think about. But my wife was the first person that pulled up out front. I went out to greet her, and behind her was our oldest son, who was being brought home by a friend. And when he pulled up in that car with his friend, he was looking at me with the strangest look. It was like he's looking through me, not at me. And I watched him get out of the car. He took a couple of steps towards me and collapsed. Now, at this time, the first phone call that I actually made was to the pastor of our church. He lived close, was there in just a couple of minutes. So when he first got there, I said, could you please do me a favor? Could you go down to the intersection and see if they've taken the body out of the roadway? Well, he'd go down, he'd come back up, no, Larry, they had it. He'd go back down, come back up, no, and this went on for a little while, and finally he came back up at one point and said, Larry, I've talked to the officers down there, and they can't touch the body until the coroner gets there. And unfortunately, that night, the coroner was busy, was unable to get there in an expedient amount of time. So as my wife came through, there's our son still laying in the roadway. Now, it was at this point that we learned of a second death. Wait a minute. I had only seen one body blanket. Who was the other person? It was Sean's friend Tyler. But in Tyler, in working on him, they detected a small faint pulse, got him into the ambulance, and decided that it was quicker to get him over to where life flight was, instead of getting the helicopter in the air and letting it come over and picking him up and taking him to the hospital. But by the time they got there, he was pronounced dead. Now, the first picture, or the second picture, I should say, that I got here, this is the car that hit the boys. Old Chevy Impala. You can see all the damage to the front end of the vehicle there. This picture really didn't do a whole lot of justice to the amount of damage that was done. It didn't show you the windshield that was blown out, the scratch marks and cave-in of the hood of the car. The next photo, this is Sean, 15 years old. Tyler was 15 also. And sitting here with the one thing that he really enjoyed. Tell you about that in just a second. Next photo. Again, we can see that double big gulp in his hands. We never saw him without one. And him and Tyler were on their way back from walking to 7-Eleven and getting one of those when they were struck and killed. We know it because they were found in the roadway next to where the boys landed. And also in this picture, something else that he really enjoyed in life was his girlfriend, Chrissy. These two were inseparable. They could finish each other's sentences. We loved to get them talking because they would just automatically do it. It was so fun to watch. The next and last picture that I have for you is this one right here. That's my son over there. That's what I drove up on. That's what I wanted to get out in the roadway, pick him up and hold him and let him know it's going to be okay, Dad's here now. Our job as parents is to keep them safe, alive, and happy. I couldn't do that. The day we put him in the ground, I stood over his coffin and bent over and I told him, I said, I will do everything I can, son, to make sure this doesn't happen again. That was 32 years ago. That's how long I've been doing this program, and I will continue to do it until we can stop this from happening. This is 100% preventable. There's no reason on God's green earth that we can't stop this. And quite frankly, it was by the grace of God that I'm standing here today. Guys, life is meant to be enjoyed. It really is. But we have to be responsible. Please don't don't put yourself in a position to get in a vehicle with somebody that has been drinking and now they're going to drive with you in the passenger seat. Or God forbid you even find yourself in the position of being the one that's drinking and driving the vehicle. Please, let's stop this right here, right now. And everybody have a great life, okay? Thank you.
In conclusion, Sebastian and I would like to say something.
The last 2 days, you have witnessed a staged and very well organized event.
But every 15 minutes is very real.
Real life events, just like this one, happen every 15 minutes.
And as we have seen for ourselves, even this year, these events can affect our community, our school, and our friends.
You need to make the decision right now. If you wait until the time comes, you will be too late.
Sebastian and I stand in front of you with commitment cards in our hands.
We make the promise and commitment to our friends, our family, and our community.
We promise that we will never drink and drive.
We will also make the promise to never get into a car with a driver who has been drinking.
And you, our fellow students, we ask to please make that same promise to yourself, your friends, and your family to never drink and drive.
If you are willing to make that promise, please stand with us right now.
Thank you, everyone. Before we head back to class, I want to take a moment to thank our students that were a part of this program. This is a big thing to say yes to, and I really appreciate everything they've done to be a part of it, so I want to give them a round of applause. And also a huge thank you to all the organizers of the program, from fire to police to our speakers today, our parents, videos. Thank you so much. And lastly, as you've heard over and over again, this is preventable. We were fortunate to be able to stage an incident yesterday, to have it be pretend, but for those that were involved in it, it felt very real. And it is something that we can make a choice to not have happen to us, to our loved ones, to our friends, as we head into prom, as we head into summer, as we graduate and go to college. Please remember today. Please make the choices that keep you being able to come home every night to your family, come home to your dorm, meet your future husbands and wives, have your children one day. But it becomes in the tiny moments when you decide what you're going to do and what decisions you're going to make. Thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful day.